Time for them to go. So to this gang of three, I offer this so long message, and with apologies to Gloria Gaynor, I repeat the lyrics of her song, I Will Survive. First I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking of how you did me wrong. I grew strong, I learned how to get along, and so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you there with that sad look on your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I had known for just 1 second you'd be back. Go now. Walk out the door. Just turn around, because Barry, Eden, Brandenburg, you're not welcome anymore. No justice, no peace.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Next we have coming up Mary Jo. Mary Jo is the fiancée of Daniel Tillerson, who was killed by APD in 2011, 2012, and named in the Department of Justice report as one of the unjustified killings by APD. Mary is a single mom now left raising 3 children and has organized protests against police violence. Mary's 9-year-old son, Devontae Tillerson, will read a poem about his father's killing.
As I stand here today, memories flow through my mind. Memories of my husband, the father of my 3 children. March 19, 2012, our lives changed forever. My life came crashing down right before my eyes. Having to see the man I love, the man I spent the last 11 years of my life with, the father of my 3 kids, lie on the ground, dead, cold, and alone. This sight is going to haunt me forever. My kids will never have his love, his devotion, his faithfulness, honesty, his dedication, and integrity ever again. As the days, weeks, years, and months go by, I still feel held back by the images and memories that replay in my mind. Daniel may have had faults and problems, but there was so much more to him than people knew. Daniel, he was one of the most sweetest, funniest, loving men you can ever meet. Over the years, many of us have tried to help him with his addiction. However, we were unable to get through to him. Maybe if a professional would have stepped in, it would have helped. It was very frustrating knowing that a system most of us depend on to keep us safe is the very same system that failed Daniel. It is the same system that allowed Daniel to become an addict. It was Daniel's addictions that led him to make bad choices to support his addiction and his family. It's the same system that not only let him down, but took him from us. If only one of the times Daniel was locked up, somebody would have stepped in and helped him, maybe Daniel would still be here today. Maybe our children wouldn't have to cry at night asking for their daddy to come home. Maybe I wouldn't be left explaining to my 5-year-old daughter that she can't call her daddy ever again. This is a system that allows a young, troubled teen to go into jail and come out a heroin addict. It's a broken system. Maybe, just maybe, telling Daniel's story will save another young person, save another family from the grief and pain we are suffering. Daniel is missed and loved by many. Officer Martin Smith did not have the right under any circumstances to kill Daniel Tillerson, an unarmed man. We demand justice. We demand it now. R.I.P. my love. I will forever be your voice, and we will one day get justice so you can rest in peace.
Next we have coming up Richard Moore. He was a co-founder of the Black Berets as part of the Chicano movement in the 1970s. Two of the Black Berets were killed by APD for their activism.
I'd like to take a quick moment right now. We're taking a quick moment right now to honor the speakers that just came up here. So please, let us respect this space and honor in our silence the people that just spoke. And let's honor our 5-year-old little daughter that lost her father. And again, we are here today peacefully, in a nonviolent way, even if we disagree. We come together in solidarity because that is the only way.
Yes.
Again, we may have differences, but we come together in solidarity because that is the only way. And that is the only way we have changed our society in the past. So as Gandhi has said, be the change you want to see in the world. And this movement and today is peaceful and nonviolent. And we are all going to be upstanders today and help our community to be such. In solidarity, in a loving and compassionate way. Because this movement will not be twisted to be seen in any other way than nonviolent and peaceful. So please, honor those that have passed, the families. Even if we disagree, today is a day we stand in solidarity to be on one message, to end police brutality. So please put your hands together for the family members that were up here sharing a piece of their heart and their reality. And with that, we are going to bring up some of our community leaders and those that have organized in the 60s and 70s and that have paved the way for us to be here today without being shot by APD in this very park. Please, my co-facilitator, bring up the next speaker.
And the next speaker is Mr. Richard Moore. He's the founder of the Black Berets in the 1970s and the co-director of the Los Angeles Institute. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Mr. Richard Moore. He was a co-founder of the Black Berets as part of the Chicano movement back in the 1970s. He's also the co-director of the Los Angeles Institute, which is found at 803 La Vega in the South Valley. Two of the Black Berets were killed by APD for their activism. Mr. Moore here is representing them today.
Good afternoon, sisters and brothers. I bring greetings from Los Jardines Institute, from our organization, from our members and volunteers. You know, it's an honor to be in the presence of many of my sisters and brothers, and for those that remember, in 1971, we had a demonstration, a very large demonstration in this park in 1971 when the police came in and actually shot one of the folks. APD was up on the hill there, and they opened up into this park in 1971. One of our people was shot by the Albuquerque Police Department. January 29th of 1972, we lost 2 members of our organization. They weren't killed by the Albuquerque Police Department, let's be very clear. They were assassinated by the Albuquerque Police Department. And many of the brothers and sisters that are here today, the family members, we need to be clear amongst ourselves that those individuals were not shot, they were not killed, they were assassinated by the Albuquerque Police Department, and all of us in this park need to be very clear about that. Now, I say that because I just want to remind us of a couple things very, very quickly. One, militarization of the Albuquerque Police Department is something that's been going on for years upon years upon years. We cannot separate that the militarization of APD, whether it's the Sheriff's Department, whether it's the State Police, whether it's the U.S. Marshals, or whoever it may be. If it's immigration, whoever it is, militarization is on the upcrease and we need to make sure that that militarization is put to an end and put to the end very soon. We just need to call some things for what it's really all about.
Oh, okay.
First of all, I'd like to say
Thanks.
that the Albuquerque City Council, not all the city council members on the Albuquerque City Council, but some of them are responsible for the assassination of our family members and so on. Now, do we come out in this park today and say that lightly? Of course we don't, because that city council could have did something about it and chose not to do anything about it. So those city councilors, many of them, not all of them, are responsible for the assassination of our friends, our families, and our neighbors and so on. The other person that very clearly is two chief of police at this particular point, and it goes back a little bit further than both of them too. They're responsible. They should be fired, they should be locked up, and many of our sisters and brothers should be left out of the state penitentiary and replaced by those individuals. That's not to say, let's be clear, we're not here today talking rhetoric, no? We're talking reality and we're talking truth and justice in this park today. The mayor of this city needs to be locked up in the state penitentiary. Whether it's Perry or Barry or whoever it may be, those are the real criminals, and many of our families and neighbors and members and so on should be released immediately. Now we say that, and there's another person too. It's the governor of the state of New Mexico. Not our governor, but the governor, okay? Let's be very clear. Susana Martinez is not our governor. She's somebody's governor, but not our governor. Now she should be incarcerated because she's responsible for the assassination of many of our families and members along with that too. Let's be very clear, sisters and brothers, that it's going to take unity to bring this thing down, no? So I say in behalf of our members, and many of you, those family members that are present with us, those family members that are not here, those other residents and our neighbors in the South Valley and the North Valley and Martinez Town and Duranes and on with Los Parias, and we can travel all over this city in the state of New Mexico, because they were also killed, Linda Montoya, by the Sheriff's Department in the Santa Fe Police Department in the 1970s. Ricardo Falcone was also shot and killed, not by a police agency, but the militarization of what was taking place in southern New Mexico. Sisters and brothers, this is not just a local epidemic or whatever, this is a national epidemic, and together we can bring this thing down together if we stay unified and we hang in here together. So lastly, I say to you in the most sincere and sincere effort that we can bring this to you, that when our members were killed, assassinated in January 29th in 1972, we protested and marched and demonstrated in this. There was thousands of people in this park. We need to get bigger. We need to get bigger. We need to bring more of our neighbors out, our community, and in order to demonstrate against this and call for what it is. So I say in closing, sisters and brothers, let's stay unified. This is a peaceful activity. Let's stay peaceful with each other, because they would just be more than happy for us to get into situations amongst ourselves. You know that. You all have experience. You know what division can do in our ranks and so on. Put the egos to the side. Put our organization's names to the side. Put our family members in the forefront, our young sisters and brothers, and let's work together in unity to call for an end and demonstrate, protest, march, and do whatever's necessary to bring our situation to justice. Thank you very much, sisters and brothers. Have a good time this afternoon.
Let's give it up one more time, Richard Moore!
My name is Alan Wagman. If anybody is interested in engaging my name is Alan Wagman. If anybody is interested in engaging in a brief discussion on Israel's role in the militarization of U.S. police, including here in Albuquerque, join me back over there, second free back from where I am, not from here from the stage. Thank you.
And a little shout out to Senator Linda Lopez. Thank you for being here, Senator. Appreciate it. Our governor. So there are teach-ins. You are welcome to create your own teach-in. So there's a board up here. If you have a topic you want to discuss, you are welcome to write it and put the color of the lei that you're going to have at your teach-in. So these are what they look like. A little color lei. So if you want to talk about how to be more nonviolent and share a message at these rallies, you can put the color red and do your circle. So do these teach-ins if you're so moved.
In about 20 minutes, we're going to have the mock trial of Gordon Eaton, so please stick around. I got the handcuffs. Coming up next is our poet, Monica Salazar. She's a local poet and activist who helped organize today's event. She witnessed the killing of her boyfriend, Christopher McKissick, in 1991 by APD. She has organized a die-in to visually represent the impact on the community of the many APD killings. Here's Monica.
Please put your hands together for Monica Salazar. She's one of the organizers of today and organized that die-in to really show the impact of what we're feeling. Please give it up, Monica.
Thank you, everybody, for being here today. It's so important that you came out to support this cause and to support the end to this brutalized system that we are living in. I'm just going to share a little poem for you. I've been wondering where to rest my head. I crash clumsily into the egos of strangers, still wondering where to rest my head. I am weary, and it is daily. Only some days, a reprieve, a total surrender to all that is, and I am love, and I am a lover, and I believe like a child that if I hold you tight enough, strong enough, long enough, the fear will leave you, and it will leave me. Sometimes you can't unknow, baby. Sometimes you can't unknow, and I understand this. But don't let it consume your last happy breath. Even when I am afraid, I grab my own hand and I walk myself into the other, where the air is thin, and I learn to breathe like a yogi. I transcend the physical body all the time. I've been preparing to die, knowing all along that you would steal my life from me, like a thief for hire. Too black, too brown, too yellow, too red, too queer, too sexy, too homeless, too PTSD, too voiceless, too powerless, too marginalized. When do you realize this animal is conscious?
Are other family members here besides Nora and Mike Sanchez?
Where are all the others? Ever. I mean, the last
Did you see any other? Torres?
month. No.
Torres should be here.
Who?
Torres.
Not Torres, not
No.
Gomez, not Ellen. Everybody else. Where?
I wish you were a warrior.
Well,
APD, I wish you were a warrior. That is my prayer for you.
I know Ken's with his grandson. He's doing things with his grandson.
Filling the hearts with your praise.
I don't know.
You might find your own, but not as long as you are a thief for hire.
A lot of people still have legal issues.
Give it up, Monica!
I know, but you're...
We have a
I know.
today, so gather around. We have Devontae, Trujillo, Tillison, 9 years old, is going to be brave enough to share a poem with you today. So please, come on up, gather around.
And his mom just spoke, but his father was killed by APD. Come support Devontae, our 9-year-old here that lost his dad.
We really miss you, Daddy, and we wish you were here to hug us with your loving arms and to give us your kind ear. Daddy, we know we have to understand, but things seem so out of place. Daddy, we know you cannot play with you or see your smiling face. Daddy, although we are really sad and know you're really gone, Daddy, we know you're up in heaven with the angels shining down upon us. Daddy, we promise we will never forget you, and that's a promise we will keep. You belong here with us, but we know that cannot be. We always and forever will love you, Daddy, and in our hearts you will always be. My dad's name is Daniel Tillison.
Let's give it up for Devontae!
Help me.
So next speaker we have is going to be Mr. Sam Costales. He's a 24-year veteran of the Albuquerque Police Department and is now speaking out about the culture of violence he witnessed while being a police officer. He was instructed to shoot a man and refused, which resulted in him being chastised and alienated within APD. Welcome, Mr. Sam Costales. Give him a big round of applause.
My name's Sam Costales. I served 24 years in the police department. And I was forced out after that 24 years. I've been told by some people, you heard out there, walk a mile in my shoes. Well, I walked 24 years in the Albuquerque police officer's shoes. So I can give an opinion. I can give a judgment as to what I see is wrong with the Albuquerque Police Department. I believe they're overzealous. I believe they're too quick to pull the trigger. I believe they're too quick to inflict pain on their fellow citizens. And most importantly, I believe they chastise and harass officers who don't want to kill somebody, as happened with me. I happened the other day, which I have in my pocket, to find an article written about that will support that statement, what I just told you. Is there a culture of violence among APD? Yes, I believe so. I believe they have turned more militaristic in their actions. They've adopted a militaristic point of view. They look at you citizens not as they're serving and protecting you, but they look at the authority over you. That they don't want to stand side by side with you, in other words. They need to return to community policing or friendlier policing where they're there to protect and serve, and not the way they're going right now. In the police academy, we were taught some things that I obviously was in disagreement with. They said, when you made this decision, stand by your decision. Don't waver from your decision. They said,